This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Lori Rogish on behalf of Rogish Law Firm. As many of you know, my husband Sig Rogish and I fought the Clark County School District for 7 years. We went through 2 trials, with the second ending here in the federal court. In 2021, Judge Boulware issued a scathing opinion that found the district had violated our daughter's civil rights to receive an education. Since then, I have heard from so many families that continue to ask for help. They are desperate for help to receive the services from the school district in order for their children to receive an education. There has been a continued embarrassing dysfunction between the state and the Clark County School District, which has taken an already terrible situation and created a major crisis that is causing irreparable harm to children with special needs. These children are our most vulnerable victims. I believe that the court-ordered change is needed to fix our broken school system that continues to rank last in our country. And I believe this is a legal team that will get the job done. With that being said, I would like to introduce some of the team members and also the named plaintiffs. I am proud to stand by their side, and I look forward to battling against the state and the 5th largest school district in our country. Thank you for coming today. And with that, I have Hillary Freeman.
Hi, my name is Hillary Freeman from Freeman Law Offices. Thank you all for coming today. I have been advocating for students with disabilities for 20 years, and I have never seen a district who needs support quite like this district. 10 years ago, when I first got involved with Lori's case, Lori had told me that there were students here that were really, really struggling, and she was telling me responses that the district was providing her, and as well as those families. And I said, no, that can't be the case. And then I got involved, and here I heard more and more stories. And I was getting involved with the IEP meetings and with going to court, and I just heard stories that I've never heard before. So ultimately, after a few different cases that I was involved in, I said, I can't do this alone. I need a team of people to come in and to help restructure the system. I heard enough. I just heard the district and the Clark County School District kept on saying, this is the way we do things here in Nevada, and you have to accept it. That you're coming from the East Coast, but this is the way we do things here in Nevada. And I said, no, we don't have to accept it. These families do not have to accept it. We need more support. We need a system in place to help these students get access to the services that they're entitled to under the laws. And with this team here, we're willing to do that, and we are going to step in to make sure that that happens. So with that, I'm going to invite Catherine Reisman up to talk about her experiences as well.
Hi, my name is Catherine Marino Reisman. I'm from Reisman, Corolla, Gran, and Zuba. I got involved with Nevada special education law when Hillary Freeman and Lori Rogish asked me to come into the Rogish case as the Section 504 and Americans with Disabilities Act expert. After that trial, that case resulted in a groundbreaking victory that's been cited nationwide for the ADA and Section 504 rulings. Yet we're here years later, and Clark County School District is still suffering from systemic deficiencies. And we want to make it clear, it's not individual teachers who are the problem. It's the system and not providing the support and training that is necessary to serve these students. We just settled a class action in New Jersey where we got an agreement for systemic change and monitoring by the federal court. And we achieved that with a class counsel team in New Jersey that included Greg Little, who is, I will now turn the microphone over to Greg.
Thank you so much for being here. This is such a significant case, and it's such an absolute privilege to be a part of this team, and even more privilege to be representing these incredibly brave, courageous people. As we were preparing for this lawsuit, hearing their stories will bring you to tears. It's just heartbreaking how hard they have to fight every day and how much they are being left behind by the school district. There's some basic fundamental problems here that don't seem to be addressed at all, and they've been going on for years and years. The school district does not have enough staff, period. The staff that they do have, they often aren't well qualified for the position that they're in. And then finally, and most importantly, there's a complete lack of leadership at the district level and at the state level. There's no sense of responsibility. There's no sense of oversight. And as a result, you have a district that is absolutely failing these parents who need their help and need it right away. Time is of the essence for these children with special education. And it's not just every year that goes by that's a problem, every day that goes by when they're not getting the services that they're entitled to is a day they will never recover. And our goal here is to hold the leadership accountable, to provide oversight, to go into court and have the court order compliance with the statutes that they're required to comply with kids with special needs. And I want to emphasize that the complaint, if you've read it, is long, it's detailed, there's a lot of information about the shortcomings of the district. I want to make absolutely clear that this is not an attack on the teachers. We've interviewed teachers as well, and the teachers break down in tears when they start talking about not having the resources to give their students the guidance that they know they absolutely need. So this is not, there are great teachers in this district, they're just not getting the support and the guidance and the leadership that they need. And that's what this lawsuit is all about. Accountability, oversight, and providing some measure of hope for these families who are doing everything they can every day for their children. And now I think you want an opportunity to talk with them.
Before one of them come up, can you say your name and who you're with?
Yes, Gregory Little with the firm of Wasserman and Little.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Werlinger, and I joined this lawsuit because I was tired of having to bang on all the doors just to get somebody to listen. And once I was made aware that there was a step to keep everybody accountable, I couldn't not be a part of it. I've been in the district, both my kids have been in the district for the last 10 years, and being told that my kid is a COVID first grader and he'll just be pushed through and being left behind and not being even thought about, right? He's a typically affected child, normal, pleasant, wonderful, but he's been struggling with dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, ADHD, things that the district knew that they couldn't help him with, so they refused to recognize it. And so after we sought some private documentation, some private diagnoses, then we provided it to the district, and we're still failing to get them implemented the way that it needs to be. No other working family can take this kind of time. We trust our village to take care of our kids, and they're failing us one by one. So I'm really happy that it's getting the attention that it needs, because it's time. It's time for our kids to be heard and listened to and taken care of in the way that they're supposed to. Thank you guys for all of your attention. CAITLIN WERLINGER.
Hi, my name is Iva Lewis, and my son is in the Clark County School District, and he has autism. And it is just time that I finally get the help that I've been crying and praying for every day. Last school year was very hard, and as a parent, you pray that you're doing everything right and your son is getting everything that they need. And my son absolutely was not getting what he needed, and I kept on asking and talking, and nothing was being done. And I'm just happy that finally something is going to be done, because if we continue to not do anything, we're giving our kids a basic bare minimum education. And if you give them a basic bare minimum education, they would not even be able to work in the casinos. They would not be able to work in a Starbucks. They would not be able to work in a Walmart or McDonald's. So I'm just happy that finally there's attention, and that people are hearing our cries and our prayers and finally being answered. And I I'm happy that something's being done and I don't have to worry and cry anymore. Because last year I cried every day. I prayed every day before I let my son go into school. I prayed with him. My son knows the Lord's Prayer in and out because we said that every day. And I'm so happy that we're at a point now this school year to where I don't have that fear anymore. And I'm still fighting, but I don't have that fear anymore. And I'm thankful to my attorneys, to the parents, everybody. It's just this amazing support staff that we have, and that I finally got that somebody's listening to me and hearing me is amazing. And that's it. I'm hoping, I'm hoping for the best. And I'm hoping that we finally get what we deserve, because our kids deserve better than what they've been getting.
Hi, my name is Melissa Rose. I am a parent of an 11th grader with disabilities. More to name, a lot to, has a lot of disabilities, I'm sorry. I go to work every day, I'm a working mom, with the fear that my son may be hurt again by school policemen because someone did not understand him, or someone didn't take the time to understand his wishes, his desires at school. Not only is that a fear of mine, my other fear is that now that he's 11th grade, we've gone all these years, what does he know to be out, to be able to be out as a productive citizen? I don't know. And so, being that he's 11th grade, I'm just hopeful that we can get him to a place where he can eventually transition into adulthood in a corrective manner. The other fear is that when he does, I don't know. There's so many fears. There's so many things that we have asked for that we have not gotten, and not actually trying not to follow up on it. But when you're a working mom, it's hard to go back and say, did they do what they're supposed to do for your son? So now I'm looking. He's 17, and did he get what he needed in the school district? Probably not. There's nobody to blame except to see what we're going to do from this point on, what can be done for other parents. And I look and I'm like, okay, we can at least help someone else, help other parents who have gone through what we've gone through all these years. So I'm appreciative of this movement that is about to happen, and I hope and pray that it goes through for the sake of all the other children in the district. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming down. Anna Marie Binder, ANNAMARIE BINDER. This is long overdue. As many of you know me and have provided such wonderful coverage through the years in our community of not just my family, but families like these. When I found out that they were going to come and help us, I'm sure some of you can imagine how that stopped me in my tracks. For all these years, most people come to me or they find, another lawyer, but we've never had someone willing to help on this level. It's change that is probably decades overdue. And I'm so incredibly proud of our parents that have chosen to come forward. This is not easy. It's not, some of us are still fighting the daily battle. Some have moved on from the battle, and some of us don't even know where the battle ends, starts, begins. And so this is hope. This is hope for everyone. When Caitlin said, if you're trying to work a job and you have a child in the district that has a need, imagine, working 30, 40 minutes away from your child's school and getting a call that you need to be there right then. And then you have to go in and tell your boss that you have to drop everything that you're doing to get to your child's school. And then on the way there, you're frantic because you don't know if you're going to make it in time. Are they going to arrest my child? Are they going to illegally restrain him? What are they going to do to my child before I get there? These are reasons I don't work. And these are reasons why I've been able and so blessed to spend the last 5 years fighting because I couldn't work anymore. How do you work when you're getting called? How do you? And so for our families that do balance those things, there are wonderful people in our community that help, and we do our best to help. But I don't know if anyone's truly thought in the long run exactly what this is going to do and what this is going to bring for families like mine. I wish I could go to work, but like even right now, I'm checking my phone 10 times because I have, 3 kids left in the district in 3 different schools. So what's gonna happen, right? We are beyond blessed that this legal team has come in to do this very necessary work. And I look forward to everyone continuing their coverage on this because we're not going down without a very huge fight. Thank you.
Well, if I can just add, we are not going down. Let me just follow up on that. This is a righteous case. This is an incredibly strong case. And what we really hope is that the district and the state will recognize that right away and not try to drag it out, not try to postpone things over and over and over again. The sooner this gets resolved, the better. As we said before, time is of the essence.
Are we able to ask questions?
Yes.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, obviously the lawsuit has, every family has a different story, so there are a lot of different violations that are being cited in here. Can you talk about some of the main issues you're seeing? And again, from my understanding, the goal of the class action is to get corrective action. Is there a deadline you're giving to get that action taken? Because the district could say, hey, we could do it in 10 years, or so. Is there a timeline you're giving them on fixing the issues as well?
That's a great question.
Come up to the.
Go ahead. Okay, sorry. That is a great question in terms of, is there a timeline? In our mind, yes, there is. Again, I hate to keep repeating myself, but it's so important and significant. Time is of the essence. And what we need here is systemic change to solve a systemic problem. And you're right, that will take time. But what we need to do and what we're shooting for right away is to have an injunction entered by the court. And then there would be a monitor that would be appointed that would finally provide some accountability and oversight. And then there would be benchmarks along the way. This problem has built up over, I think it's mentioned, decades. It's not going to be solved overnight, but there can be improvement very promptly, and there can be a change in attitude overnight, where everyone is working together to make sure that these children are getting the services that they need. But when you talk about systemic problems, because you're right, that's what a class action is all about. It's not necessarily each individual case. Systemically, this district is appalling in how they're treating their children. It starts with they're not finding the children that have needs. Then they're not working with the parents to come up with a program to help those children. They're not doing something that's called a least restrictive environment, where every child is supposed to be in a least restrictive environment, but they don't provide the services to allow them to do that, so children come into a general education classroom and then are sent immediately back to the special ed. And it goes on and on. They're not taking care of security. They're not even taking care of the transportation for these children. It is a classic class action because it is a systemic problem that requires a systemic remedy.
Clear. I think Greg did an excellent job covering some of the issues, and some of the issues are going to take longer to resolve than others. There are certain things like teacher training in different curriculums, bringing in those curriculums to the district. Orton Gillingham, or another structured literacy intervention to help students learn to read, students with dyslexia learn to read. That does not require years and years and years of experience and to bring into the district. One teacher getting certified in Orton Gillingham instruction can impact 44 students a day. Okay, and it would cost the district maybe $1,000 to educate one teacher and have that one teacher certified. There are trainings that are in programs that provide free instruction and free trainings and free certifications to teachers in Orton Gillingham instruction. So that's just one example. And there's applied behavioral analysis. The teachers are not necessarily trained in applied behavioral analysis, which is the methodology that's used to educate students with autism. As a result of their improper training, and it's not the teacher's fault, it's the fault of the administration for not providing that training, students are getting injured, their behaviors are increasing, teachers are getting injured, and they're being denied access to their education. So these are some examples of methods of instruction or remedies that can be implemented very quickly, and others will certainly take longer to take effect. Yes?
I have a question for the parents. Hi. You know, as a parent myself, it takes a lot of faith and trust to send your child to school every single day and hope that they come back well every single day. What's it like sending your child to school knowing that they're not getting those basic services outlined in the lawsuit? Can I have you guys come up? One of you guys can come up. Can I have your first and last name?
Heidi Lopez,
Can you spell it out?
LOPEZ. It's scary because some of our children are nonverbal. They can't articulate what's going on in class. They can't tell you what they've eaten. They can't let you know, it's usually by question. You have a good day or bad day, and you're relying on that. So it's very scary because it's the unknown. If their needs are being met or not. And a lot of times they're not. And you're getting unlicensed teachers and people that can't care for them.
I have two more questions, sorry. For the lawyers, what has been the most significant, or what are the most significant challenges you guys have faced building this case?
That's a great question, because this case has come together very quickly, of people working together. And the first conversation that I had with Hillary, she said, "You have no idea how bad it is." And I said to myself, "Surely you're exaggerating." And every time we would meet with parents, we would meet with teachers, we'd meet with administrators and other people here, they would be telling us additional stories of what had taken place, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse. So in terms of pulling this together, and it's a spectacular legal team, and the clients have been amazing, people working round the clock to get this done in a very short period of time. That's been, frankly, though, the easy part. Now comes the heavy lifting of forcing the district and the state to step up immediately and not try to drag this out for a year or two. Those of you who follow litigation know that's a common tactic with defendants. If they think they have a weak case, they try to drag it out. And we have promised our clients we're going to do everything we can to not allow that to happen. We're going to push forward very aggressively to have this resolved right away so we can immediately have that monitor appointed. And I would just encourage the district and the state to not even wait for that to happen. They should be calling us right now to say, let's sit down and talk about how we solve this problem.
Have you had any communication with the school district since filing the suit?
No, we have not.
And then I know that the Rogers' case, obviously, that went to trial.
Right.
If the school district fights this, could you see a prolonged trial in the future?
If we go to trial, I feel very strongly that at the end of the day, they will regret not having sat down and tried to get it resolved earlier. Because in the trial, I have been trying cases for over 40 years. I am a true believer that trials can lead to the truth. And when the truth is put on the record, they will end up regretting not doing the right thing earlier, and instead of requiring the court to go through a month or 2 month trial. But if we do that, we've promised our clients we will be ready. We will, all the information that we've gathered, we continue, even now, once the lawsuit was filed and there was some publicity, we're getting constant phone calls from people who, again, no matter how bad things were, it seems to be getting worse. I mean, I will tell you, I represented the kids in Flint, Michigan that were exposed to lead in the water. The situation we have here is even worse. And we are going to bring that to light.
Is there any idea how many students are impacted? Because it looks like some haven't even been assessed properly before to even know if they should be getting the resources that they're supposed to be getting legally.
I'm sorry, I missed the first.
How many children? I know we have some rough, your question though is a good one. We have rough estimates of tens, 20,000, many thousands of people, but we don't know because they're not addressing that fundamental issue of child find. And until they do that, we really don't know what the scope is going to be. But that's the benefit of a class action. Whether it's 30,000, 60,000, 100,000, it will help all of them. And frankly, it will also help all 300,000. This is the 5th largest school district in the country. And all of them are suffering from a lack of services, a lack of teachers who are well qualified, a lack of responsibility and oversight. So this will benefit all of the children. Again, we just want to thank you for following it. It is an incredibly significant story. And just one last thing, obviously a significant story here in Clark County, a significant story here in Nevada. I predict this is going to be a significant story nationwide. We have a problem nationwide in dealing with our children with special education, and there's no reason for that. We have a very clear federal statute that lays out exactly what should be done for these children. And this case is going to have a significant impact on, I believe, the entire country ultimately. Thank you very much for your time.
You've been watching Breaking News from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.